Well, hi, Freedom Talks, and hi, John 3:17. My name is Cassie Warwick. I was born on February 20th, 1981, to Carl and Lori Freeman. I have a younger sister named Robin. I have two boys, Tristan and Isaiah. One niece, Alexis, one nephew, Elijah, two great nieces, Heidi and Hazley. I was born and raised in a Baptist church, attending every Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I participated in GMAs, Awana, even taught Sunday school to little kids. I was 12 years old when I first tried weed. I come from a cook family and married into a cook family. So from an early age, I was destined to have a lot of run-ins with the law. Like I said, weed was my first drug, followed by drinking and cocaine. I had a friend that we had did so much powder one night, his heart exploded on us. I was sexually molested by my uncle at the age of 16. I married a man after only knowing him for a month and a half. I had a drug problem and a man problem. When people ask about my addiction, I say meth and men. I've always lived by go big or go home. I had Tristan a month after graduating high school, but had to test 3 different men to see who his dad was because bed hopping was my pastime. Tristan's dad ended up wanting nothing to do with him, so we signed over our rights to my parents. Zay was born 2001, but his dad and family were in his life at first. Again, I married a man after knowing him a month and a half. But come to find out, he molested my youngest son and my niece when they were little. Between all of this, drugs and men were a big part of my life. December 2019, I was on drug court and doing bad. Failed 2 hair follicle tests, was before Judge Henry, and he called me a worthless cause. This stemming from numerous jail stays and being in jail more time than out of jail. January of 2020, I found a rehab in Mansfield, Texas. Didn't tell anyone I was leaving and just that's when I had caught my 16th absconding charge. Was tired of hiding, so I got on a plane and left Arkansas. My counselor at the Texas rehab had told me it was best for me to call the judge and my probation officer and let them know where I was at, so I did. They were fine with me being there. It was a 30-day in-house rehab, and then after 30 days, they let you go to sober living. 27 days in, they thought I was going to run again, so they sent the U.S. Marshals after me. But then the rehab helped me run. When the Marshals pulled up at the front gate, I was running through the horse pasture in the back, jumped 3 fences, was hiding under these trees, and just was waiting on the helicopter to start circling. Because you know, U.S. Marshals coming to another state, that's pretty serious. So, after a couple hours of being in the middle of Texas somewhere, I could hear people calling my name, so I was just fed up, and it was getting dark, and I just didn't want to run anymore. So I was going to turn myself over to the police. I had to come back over 3 fences, and come to find out, it was my counselor calling my name, and they had told the marshals that I wasn't there. And so, but then again, I couldn't stay, so they put me in an Uber, sent me to the bus station in Fort Worth, and on the bus, I was coming back to they had gotten hold of my family and told them that if a weird number had called, it would be me because I was somewhere in Texas and my sister's number was the only number I had. But so my niece called for me, got me a bus ticket and an Uber, and they gave me my suitcase and a little bit of money, and they sent me to the Fort Worth bus station. And I was coming back to Arkansas. My sister picked me up from the bus station. By the time I got back to Stuttgart, I was high. And I had already got hold of unemployment and had $11,000 of back unemployment coming because I had filed for, it was during the pandemic thing, so I got it 2 days later. I blowed $11,000 in 3 weeks with nothing to show for it except a truck. Most of my 30s and early 40s have been a blur. In 2020, March through July, I did 4 months in RPF and being high before I even hit home again. In September of 2021, I had a stroke while driving and flipped my truck 4 times. I managed to get out and walk half a mile. I can remember sitting on the side of the road, throwing up with my mom on the phone, coming after me, telling her I was going to die on the side of the road by myself. I had drugs on me and didn't want to get caught with them, so I ditched them at a friend's house. I'd walked a half a mile down this gravel road after this wreck to ditch these drugs so my mama didn't find out about them. With a broke neck, my mom and my oldest son finally picked me up and took me to Stuttgart Hospital. I had my truck 3 weeks, but since I hadn't had a driver's license in 10 years, it was in my dad's name. On my way, oh, by the way, my neck was broke in 2 places. The first vertebra completely crushed, and second was cracked. I can remember in and out of consciousness, and a nurse coming in saying police had called about someone coming in with a head injury. Knowing I had several warrants, but thank God, before they got there, I was took by helicopter to Little Rock Baptist. It was a $30,000 mini helicopter ride for 15 minutes, and I didn't even get to see the scenery. But do you think I learned my lesson? No. I was supposed to do 2 months in hospital with the rehab and stuff. And I talked to him, since my mom's a nurse, I talked to him into letting me go home after 10 days. And within 3 days of going home, I was right back into my mess. Riding a bicycle with a neck brace. Check that out in Stuttgart. So let me go back to 2019. I caught my first 3, I've had nothing but misdemeanors, like weed charges, since I was 16 years old. I've been on probation since I was 16. Still on papers for another 5 years. In 2019, I caught my 3 felony charges after being in a bike wreck in front of the police department. I also had failure to pay fines in another county. Now I have 16 absconding charges, several felonies, been in jail for shoplifting, have been on probation for over 20 years. Still have 5 years left. In October of 2022, was supposed to go to New Hope Refuge with one of my friends, and we were supposed to be there at Sunday at 11 for church to do the interview, and I got back with my boyfriend and I didn't go. Well, the following Tuesday, I got beat up by him, so I went and turned myself in on Wednesday, and I went to Arkansas County Jail. This was October 19th of 2022. So I got arrested for the final time. When I asked Tim Blair previously to go to rehab, he sent me to RPF, Regional Punishment Facility, but that didn't work. I was high before I ever got home. In November of 2022, Tim Blair finally said I could come to John 3:17. My life has forever changed. I've gotten my relationship with my family back. My mom and kids are my biggest fans. Both my kids are doing the best, way better than I ever did, both working full-time jobs and buying new rides by themselves. So glad they didn't follow in my footsteps. I've gotten my fines in 2 counties put off upon completion of John 3:17. My driver's license is, now I've gotten it back, and that's 10 years in the making. Okay, I'm getting back. John 3:17 and Jesus has saved my life and changed my way of thinking and living. It took coming to a place of refuge and being still for Jesus to be able to work in my life like he's been trying to do from an early age. See, being born and raised in a Baptist church, I've always wanted to help people, learn about God and follow his ways. I've even wanted to do some mission work, and coming to John 3:17 is like mission work. And I start my day in prayer. I pray all day. I end my day in prayer. The devil, he works on me on an everyday basis still, telling me that I'm not good enough to help anybody else. And he's had me second guessing myself on staying here. But I just rebuke him in Jesus' name. I know this is where I'm supposed to be, and know I'm worthy of all of this. So my key verse when I got here was Psalm 46:10. He says, "Be still and know that I am God, and I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." And then some other verses that have "be still." Exodus 14:14, "The Lord will fight for you. You just need to be still." Be still before the Lord and wait patiently on Him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways. They carry out then wicked schemes. He stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea are hushed. That's Psalm 107:29. And Jeremiah 47:6. Alas, sword of the Lord, how long till you rest? Return to your sheath, cease, and be still. Zechariah 2:13. Be still before the Lord, all mankind, because He has raised Himself from His holy dwelling. Thank you.